So you want to know how my daughter got a brand new vehicle with no cash down, no cash out of pocket, a brand new 2025 model with her imagination? Let me tell you. So a couple of weeks ago, she calls and says, "Hey, mom, my Jeep is fine and all, but it only gets 12 miles to the gallon at this point. It's almost at 100,000 miles to 2012." And yet she was scared to death because she was like 13,000 upside down in this vehicle. And she was spouting all these limiting, beliefs and assumptions and yada, yada, yada. And I said to her, well, go into your imagination, see the new vehicle, change the perspective, change the assumption, and call me back. Because I'm not bringing you into a dealership where you're expecting the worst. That's not how we roll in this family. So she does come back and she says, "Yeah, you're right. I got back into my imagination on it. I see it real. I see that and only that." I said, "Okay, you're ready." So we go to the dealership. We hear a lot of stuff, right? All the numbers don't add up. Nothing seems like it would work out, blah blah blah. She's very upside down in the things, right? She pays us the payments for the Jeep, but she's very upside down. So the first dealership was like a no. They got it down to where we'd only be paying $200 a month for a leased vehicle. It was a very, on the surface, a pretty good deal for most people, but we still had payments to work out for the Jeep, right? To figure out for the Jeep. So they offered a low ball offer on the trade in. So we just kept saying I am, and I kept saying internally, it's all tied up in a bow. It's all tied up in a bow. It's all finished. It's all done. And I ignored everything that the salesman kept saying because there was a lot of limiting beliefs. He'd even say stuff like, "You're never going to find this good of a deal anywhere else," that kind of stuff at the end, right? So then we go to a second dealership and we got a little clearer on this is what we're looking for. We're looking for no payments until the end of the lease and a really good trade in value. Let's see what you can do. Well, they came back and they said, "Well, there's really no way to get out of here without having a payment, but we can get it down to $100 a month, and then we'll give you the 36-month payments. We'll give you back $3,600, and then we're the trade-in value they were going to offer like right where we were thinking, like a really good amount for the trade-in." And so at the end of the day, she was able to um, get a brand new vehicle with no cash put down whatsoever, trade in the Jeep, and then in 3 years, when she's got the Jeep paid off, she can now look towards, okay, a much lower payment for the brand new vehicle because she's, been in it for 3 years and the residual is not that much. And she was so happy with that. She gets a brand new vehicle with great gas mileage. It has like 45 miles to the gallon on the highway. And everything she desired came to pass, right? They did go back and forth though, and they kept saying, "Oh, well, we thought we could do this, but we can't." And we just, okay, I guess we'll need to walk. And then we'll go look, right? We kept going back and forth. But every time they came back with something that we did not want, we did not desire, we held to the I amness. We just kept seeing it as all tied up in a bow. And then at the end, when she goes out to, they gave her the keys. When she goes out to the vehicle, the salesman says, "Oh, wait, 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 wait. I got to bring you out something to take pictures." Brings out a big red bow. So, just so you're aware, everything that you reflect back in your life is the content of your consciousness. So make sure that everything you're imagining, everything you're assuming is of the highest. Because most of the time, when people are moving and grooving in their lives, they're expecting the worst. And I'm here to tell you, if you'd spend the time to train this monkey brain of yours and this monkey mind into a state of oneness with what you desire versus separation from it, that is all that you will be able to see eventually. That is all that will show up. Now, I'm not saying that it's not practice. It's practice. But I'm saying it's so worth the effort. So take some time today, get into that beautiful state of imagination. See all that you are, and then all that you want tied up in that little bow. It's done. I am. You got this. I love you.